Hello, it's me.
And me.
So today we're following up from our previous video with the Mini. So you've already watched me wash it, and thank you so many for you who've watched me wash it. It's been quite a surprise. So today what we're going to do is we're going to diagnose what we think is an engine fault, something like that. So basically, when we picked it up, it was down on power, running a little rough. And stuff like that. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do an OBD11 scan, see what that comes up with. We're going to start it up, see how it runs, and go from there. So please stay tuned, and let's see what we find. And then, actually, whilst I'm here, I would like your opinion. So these wheels, I've cleaned them a lot, as you'll have been able to have seen from the previous video. But unfortunately, they do need respraying. So I'm kind of in two minds whether to respray them in a black, respray them in a grey, like a sort of grey sort of colour, silver sort of graphite-y sort of colour, or whether to go silver. So please give us some advice, because I don't know. What do you reckon?
I think I like it, I guess.
You like it black, do you? Yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. So we will see. We will see what we think. So without further ado, let's start it up, see how she runs, and then we'll put in the OBD11 scanner and see what that tells us. So let's start her up. Now I do know that the battery was a little bit not great on this car. Ooh. So what I've done is I've put it on a battery recharge thing. So let's see how we go. Clutch in. Yeah, this is what's happening. It's conking out. Running rough, running rough, running rough. Running better than it was. Definitely starting better. You can hear it running rough. I'm not revving it, that's doing it all itself. I've done the battery and that's really helped. So I've regenerated the battery. My dad's got this regeneration kit. They're about, I don't know, 70, 80 quid off of Amazon. And it's made a huge difference, actually. So that's been a good purchase. Well, even better purchase because I didn't buy it. I borrowed it. Definitely more peppy, isn't it? Right, okay. So let's scan it. This is my OBD11 scanner, so I'm popping that into the OBD port, which is quite hard to find on this. It's there somewhere. Please, come on. You can go online a lot of the time and find where your port is, and I know it's here and I can feel it's here. It's just working out which way round to put this in without breaking it would be good. Couple of red lights on. Excuse me. Right then, might want to zoom in and out a bit. That might be a bit close. So what I'm going to do is connect to the OBD11 thing. So go on my app, OBD11. Click on that. And then hopefully, here we go.
And not screw up this car.
Maybe later. Right, connect. Plug in device to OBD port and turn on ignition. Press connect. It's picking up my other devices. Unfortunately, I wear hearing aids, and so it's picking up that at the moment.
Let's hope we don't break it like Artian over there.
Yeah. That wasn't an OBD11 fault. That was
No, that was him.
That was me prattling around with things that I didn't quite understand. So luckily enough, the local Volkswagen garage to here is fixing that for me for a cost, obviously, but yeah, they are kind of looking after me with it, so I can't whinge too much. Right, let's see if I connect to Bluetooth. Come on. So we cleared the faults. So air conditioning. Oh, hello. What's this? Select a level position power regulator. Ooh. So the nice thing about this system, this OBD11 system, is that you can buy special bits for it, add-ons to it for different cars and all this lot. But what you can also do is it just does this thing where it gives you the fault code Google, and that will go directly. Will it do it? We'll see, because the signal's not great out here. So it'll tell you, here we go, fix codes and all this. How do you fix this? Blah blah blah. So adjust your reset regulators and stuff like that. So it's really, really clever. This OBD11, as I say, as long as you don't mess it up like I did with the Arteon. But it has given us other options with the Arteon. So we can change the interior lighting, we can change the dial, the digital dials a little bit. So as long as you don't go into the guts of it and mess it up like idiot, and you just go on to what they've said you can do, it's a really, really good system. We're not sponsored by OBD11 or anything like that. It's just something that I wanted to purchase.
There's another good idea that you could do. I wonder if you could like, put on the backup thing and then screw up everything to make it go into limp home mode. So when someone steals it, they're not getting away.
Well, no, what I do is I put it on eco mode, and then they can't change it. Well, they can change it, but the likelihood is they probably don't know how to.
No, but I mean, if like a robber tried.
Well, if they got the car, they got the car, Theo. Right, so what we're going to do is we are going to get hold of a vanos solenoid, and we're going to do a compression check on the engine as well, because it is running a little lumpy. It's not happy, but that could just be the vanos. So we'll see. So we'll do the vanos and a compression check, and then we'll see where we're at that point. So this is a follow-up video from the last video. So today what we're going to do with this Mini, sorry, get Theo in the frame, there we go. What we're going to do today is we are going to do something called compression test. So we had a error message from the OBD11 telling us that the vanos was a problem. I've got a vanos now. It's a vanos solenoid. So we're going to fit a vanos solenoid and we are going to compression test the engine. So let's see how we get on. Right then, so what we're aiming to do is do a compression test. So what we need to do is disconnect each one of these plugs. Now luckily enough, they're all in order. You can't mess this up really. So unclip these, pull these out.
What are you doing? You need to do this. Stay with me!
Well, we might need to do that later. There's a good chance we might need to do that later. So pull all these leads out. They're not going to move. So we know this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. It's a 4-cylinder engine. And then we're going to pull these out. Now these can be tricky, so sometimes twisting it and pulling it at the same time is going to help.
And sometimes.
And sometimes it doesn't. There we go, 1.
It looks like something you get out of a Lego set.
Oh, come on, 2.
It still sounds like a thing.
Put them in order. It doesn't really make a difference, but if you've got like an error message, then obviously you want to do them in right order, because it could be one of these plugs that isn't working correctly. This is instead of HT leads and all this lot, these are called coil packs. So what we do next?
Is there a spark plug still on them?
Yep.
Right.
So got your specialist spark plug tool. This is a 14mm, but really, really, really narrow, because the plugs are really narrow. So we are going to change these plugs out at some point. We are going to service the car. But this is just to find out exactly if we've got any compression issues. So what you do, take the first plug out,
Bit difficult.
like so. I like to get the main tension off and then do it by hand, and you can just get a feeling for when it's loose enough to take out. I think that's it. Let's have a look. I'm correct.
By the time we have probably we're servicing the vehicle, I do want you to know, if you have been on YouTube and you might have tried out yourself, there's a thing saying you should pull your top of your spark plug up just because it possibly could give you more power.
Yeah, it's not a good idea, because the spark plug, so what Theo is talking about is this bit here. Yeah?
No.
Or that bit there?
That bit.
Right, that is done to a specific size for each car. So there's something called a gauge, a feeler gauge, and you can feel it. You don't really want to mess around with that. So whoever's suggesting that on YouTube or whatever, either doesn't care that they might break someone's engine, or is a clueless wazzock. But you do not want to be messing around with that. engines are made to sort of tolerances, okay? And that means that it's designed to work in a certain way. You start messing around with that, you can break your engine. Right, so we fitted...
I've done that a few times in one of my games.
Yeah. So we fitted this. So this is, I'll go through it quickly. So this has been, I put the correct end on this. So this is basically the same size as the spark plug. Goes into the spark plug hole, he says, hopefully. Do, 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 do. Yeah, you can feel it biting, excellent. And then we put the pressure thing on top of there.
There's no buttons or anything?
Nope. Well, the idea, this is a kit that you could do this on your own if you wanted to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the engine crank over a few times. We want a PSI reading between 120 and 150. And what we've got to do is make a note of each one. So cylinder 1, cylinder 2, cylinder 3, cylinder 4. So we know exactly what's doing what.
Dib's not writing.
Right, okay, so I want you to keep an eye on everything while I turn the engine over.
So what's the PSI readings we want?
It'll stay on it, don't worry.
I know, but what do we want?
Between 120 and 150.
Right. Well, that ain't good one little bit.
Hey?
That's 175.
175. Let's have a look. Over 175. It's 180.
Oh,
Interesting.
good.
Well, that's interesting. Okay, let me go and get a piece of paper and we'll jot these down. Right, so cylinder 1 is, as you can see, 180. There we go. I don't know if you can see that. 180 PSI. So we're going to write that down. So C1 180. Right. So then you release this pressure, right? Press that. That releases the pressure. Then you release this. And then we do the same for each cylinder. Remembering to replace the spark plug at each time. We don't want to put the core packs back in because we don't want the engine to fire up. We just want it to turn over.
You want it to try and start up, but you know it won't.
Yeah, because it's got no spark. We've taken the spark away, so we just want it to try. We want it to turn over, but we don't actually want it to do anything.
It's a test for something that I probably forgot about.
Compression.
Yeah, but I don't know what that does, you know?
So compression is what... Oh, God, that was tight. It's in the engine block. And all the engine, everything works to tolerances. And there's a compression that the manufacturers want the engine to have for it to work properly. If the compression is down, that means you've got either a head gasket blown, you could have a crack in the engine somewhere, something like that. So it is quite important to do. And as we don't know enough about this car, this engine, there we go, another spark plug out.
I know a tiny bit more because my mother owns a Mini.
Yeah, but it's about this specific car. Each car is different.
Oh, this one just has a turbo. That's pretty much the only difference.
Well, no, but even if you had the same car, exactly the same car, same make, same model, it could be different because it's the way it's been treated could be different. If it's been serviced correctly or regularly or not,
That's true.
everything can be different. Right, so we're going to lift that one up now. So first one was 180. Let's have a look. What's the second one going to be?
It's going to be something stupid, I'm guessing.
Whoa. Stand clear. Okay, maybe not. What did that say?
I think you did that a bit too quickly. 150. That's good. That's lower, and it wasn't going any higher.
Hang on a minute. Let's put the keys there. Nope, just in case the battery goes out, it's not. Sorry, say again.
That was better because you keep going. You didn't want to go any higher,
No, it should stay as it is.
but it is a bit.
So that's a tad low. Well, it isn't, it's still over. So what's that? That's 155, 160, 165. Okay, intriguing.
Better, but not what we want.
C2, 165. Well, that's intriguing. Right, so again, release it.
That is quite a nice noise.
It's cool, isn't it?
I do like the noise of it.
Unscrew it.
Reminds me of our tyre pump we've got.
Yeah.
But just more, I'm going to do it now.
So we're going to replace that. So twist that back in.
Have we tried to get it out?
Oh. Next one. Socket on. Lovely jubbly.
As we say on Top Gear, talk amongst yourselves.
Take this one out. See what this compression is. So you're going to put this tube in this time.
Me?
Yep. So that feels nice and loose. It is. Right, so what I want you to do is slot that in. See, if you look in the engine, you can see the hole. Yeah?
Oh.
So that has to go in there, and then you have to screw it tight, alright?
How do I screw something that's made of...
You'll see. Just
How
try.
do I know when it's in?
Turn to the right, so you twist it that way.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely... I think that's... Yeah, that's got a catch.
Yeah? And then twist it until it won't twist anymore.
First try.
Excellent. And then we put the gauge on. So because these have got pressure gauge, what we have to do is you have to push that up and then put that in.
Huh.
It's awkward, but it does it on purpose like that. Right, so then we put the pressure gauge like so. Right, so we've got 180, 165. What are we going to get this time?
And then we get annoyed. Hang on, we can make a whole gambling thing out of this. You can make... Okay,
No, we don't gamble.
Okay, what do you want your parents to give you? Or money, and then you bet.
What have we got?
It's like a 175 lower.
So we got 170 on that one.
If you got 170, your parents have to give you a few pounds.
70. Intriguing. I might contact my cousin about this because he's a bit of a guru when it comes to minis. So I might sort of say to him, right, okay, my compression rates are this.
I think he watches too much Italian Job.
What does he make to that? He might turn around and say, look, they're all within the tolerances. Or he might turn around and say, yeah, you might have an issue. It runs well. It has to be said. We took it out for a test drive the other day, didn't we? And
Yeah.
It ran well.
It's a nimble little car, I must say.
Yes, it is. We can't take it far because it's not got an MOT on it. That's the next thing we need to do, really, is get it ready for an MOT. And then we'll see what's next. Right, okay, so...
Beats heavyweights Teslas.
Oh, God, that's tight. I know they have to be tight, but that's daft.
Was it a bit too tight for you?
There's a little bit OTT.
You can't really say that, you bend it over on one of them.
That was untightening it, not tightening it up.
And that's what I mean.
Loosening it, I should say, untightening it. Listen to my English. The spark plugs look all right. They're not looking oily, they're not looking petrol-y, so that's good. Right, just going to slip this one in, and then you're going to do the other bit.
What's the... Oh, so I have to...
No, you're going to fire the engine.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, jump in the car.
Into the car we go.
Right, let's see what this does.
Right, neutral, that stuff.
Right, so it should be in neutral. Check it's in neutral.
Yeah, it's in neutral.
Right, okay, clutch in. Clutch all the way in, yeah? Right, and just press the button once, that's all you have to do. Okay, that's not... Oh, push the key. That's it, and then press the button. Right, press the button.
Ah,
Your clutch isn't in. If it's not firing, your clutch isn't in. Okay. Okay, and so that's... What's that? That's 165. So cylinder 4, 165. Intriguing. So the next thing to work out is what that means, because I don't know. But yes, so anybody's got any ideas, let us know, that'd be good. So these are the results. There we go. Cylinder 1, 180, cylinder 2, 165, cylinder 3, 170, cylinder 4, 165. So, yes. As I say, it did say online it should be anywhere between 120 and 150, but if this is a John Cooper Works engine, which I'm now starting to think it is with these numbers, it's higher. So that's the next thing to figure out. On the VIN numbers and everything, it says it's a normal John Cooper, but I'm either thinking it's either been mapped or it's a John Cooper Works engine. I'm not entirely sure. So let's put all this back together and then we'll have a look at the vanos. So to get to the vanos solenoid, which is right down here somewhere, I'm going to take this off, and this off, and then we'll go from there. So T25 screws. I make my part of myself, but you don't have to. And then we're going to take this one off as well, so that is going to be. Do you reckon is that the one? It is indeed. Ooh, that's a tricky little so and so.
What?
To get that out of there. Right, so that is a, what's that? That's a 7mm socket. So we shall replace the T screw head with the socket. Unloosen that, or loosen that I should say. There we go. That's nice and loose. Do one bit at a time so we remember where we've been and what we've done. Right, so this should unclip from there quite nicely. It does, and that comes off of there as well. Excellent. Can check the air filter out while we're here. That's good. Right, so we'll put this part by the side, nice and carefully. And put that there. Nice and
Unplugged
carefully.
pipe.
So this is the air filter.
Is it unplugged pipe? Would that be concerning?
What unplugged pipe?
That unplugged pipe.
I've just done it.
Oh.
Oh. Right, let's get that out. Right then, let's have a little look. See if that will go in there. It will. Excellent. How's the air filter? Do you know what? The air filter's pretty good, but we're going to put a new air filter in it when we service it anyway. Because if you're going to do a job, you do it.
Probably.
Exactly.
You do it with proper job.
Proper.
Not a sponsor. Don't even think about it.
Right, okay, now let's loosen this pipe off here as well. See, it is good. So, apologies if the sound has lost a bit of its quality. Unfortunately, my mic died. So, now I've got to remove this hose here, which is going to be fun. And there as well. Right, okay, how on earth am I going to get, or can I get to you via that? Ah, right, that's where the vanos is.
They see it.
Yeah,
What does the vanos look like?
it's just a big solenoid really. I'm just wondering if I can get to it a
I don't know
different
what
way.
solenoid is either.
Fair enough. I wonder if, how does that come off? I'm wondering whether I'd be better off. Oh, well this has been a bit of a fighter, it has to be said. See if I can get out of the glare a bit. But yeah, this has been really quite tough getting this solenoid off. So I'll show you what I've done so far. So to get to it, we've loosened off the exhaust. Oh God, my brain's gone. Got rid of the pipe here, air intake on the top, and I've loosened off this as well. Forgot what that's called. Loosened off this pipe as well. There's a pipe around the back, so all of this lot has come off. We've got the air box, rear pipe, air pipe, rear pipe, and that as well. So there's a lot had to come off because you've got to get right in. If I can get the camera around, it's really awkward. But your vanos solenoid, if I can focus it, it's difficult with the light, but the vanos solenoid is there, and the screw is to the left and behind, well, to the right, sorry. So towards the engine and behind. And it's a 10mm screw bolt, and it is really, really tricky to get to. But I've loosened that off now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hopefully loosen it off completely and get the solenoid out. So wish me luck, because it might take some time. Right, so here's the vanos solenoid here. You can just see if I can get the phone to focus on it. There you go. So this here, so I've managed to jiggle this out. So remembering the angle that came out. So that's the angle it came out. So you can see it's all gunky, not very nice. I think the seals have gone on it actually, which would make sense because we have been smelling oil. So that's quite interesting. Hopefully clean this up. Well, put the new one in. Maybe that will sort the oil leak out as well. Fingers crossed. Right, let's get the other one back in. Right, so what I've done now is I've got the screw, and I've actually used a little bit of blue tack, white tack, whatever you want to call it, to help seat the screw in the socket without the risk of losing it, because if you lose it, it's going to be a nightmare. So now I'm going to put this back in there, but I haven't got 8 hands, so you'll have to bear with me. So after a bit of a fight, the vanos solenoid is in, so we can connect that one back up. It's not that one, it's this one. There we go. And then we're going to screw all this back together. So first we'll connect this back up because we know that needs to be connected. There we go. And then we've got this has got to go back in place without that in the way. So this moves out the way. I moved it in the way. Hang on. So we connect this back up. We've connected this back up, and now we've put the manifold in place. I'm just going to screw that back on with the 10mm screws, and then we put the airbox on. Sorry, the lower pipe, then the airbox, then the pipe there, and I think we're done. So that's the manifold back in. We got, what's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws in there, and then I'm going to put the rear pipe on. This is this rear pipe thing. I probably didn't need to remove it if I'm completely honest, but to get decent access to the vanos, which is there, I wanted to take this off, and to get easy access to that, it was easier to take that off, so that's why that's off. So let's put this back on. So we have rear pipe work in. I've added the Jubilee clip, not the Jubilee clip, sorry, the cable tie, just because it was wobbling around a bit and I wasn't happy with it. We put this pipe in as well, this hose in as well. So it's just stage by stage, remembering what we did in the past. So now I've just got to put the airbox in, and then it'll be the air cover. So the airbox is, where's the top one? Where's the bottom one? That's the top one. That's the bottom one with the air filter. So here we go. Here we go. Sorry, bad camera works bad. So one thing to keep in mind, I didn't realise, this little screw here, I was really trying to get this thing in, or out I should say earlier, and I was struggling with it, and then realised it had a screw. So if in doubt, and it seems like it's harder than it should be, good idea to have a quick check. Right, so line that all up, squeeze that in, and then we'll screw it all up. Right, so we've got the lower airbox in, everything's connected, so we just put the air filter in. Where is it? There it is. As I say, we will replace that when we service the car. Airbox in, top cover. Oi. So there's 3 lugs at the back. So put it in the lugs first. There we go. Twist it up, and then move it in. Persuade it in. Let's get that out of the way. Maybe that'll make life a lot easier. How do people do this with one hand, eh? How do people do this with one hand? There we go. That's in there. Right, so let's tighten those up. So everything's screwed back together. So you need these are 7mm. These little screws here with the Jubilee clips. All of these were 7mm, which is quite good. Then you've got the T25, I think that was. T25 screw. Where's my cover for that? It'll tell me. Where is it? Yes, T25. That's the one that's missing. T25 torque screws. That was what I've used today. 10mm bolt for the vanos solenoid, and then 13mm bolts for the rear. Exhaust. Well, you know what I mean. The thing underneath here. What was it? You tell me in the comments, because I've forgotten. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean all this away, and then we'll start it up and see if it's worked. So one of the things I would suggest is what I found over the years of me doing my own stuff is this is a lifesaver. This is a magnetic tool catcher, bolt catcher, whatever you need. This is also a little telescopic magnet that can save your bacon quite often. And then I've just got general tools for taking bits apart. But the magnetic things are great. I'm probably going to treat myself to, how exciting is my life, a little mirror, so I can sort of look behind things, because that'll make life a lot easier, I think, in the future. Because what I tend to do is put the phone on video, use that, and then look back at the video. It would be easier and quicker if I just had a mirror, really. Right, okie dokie. So let me clean this up, and then you and I will start it together. Theo's gone inside. He's got a bit bored and it's got a bit chilly. So I'll see if I can get him and see if it starts up, and see if he's impressed with my work. All right then, guys, let's see if this starts. It's not what I wanted. Let's try again.
One more time! Third time charm.
Third time's the charm.
It's true! Third time's the charm!
No warning lights. Good. Everything seems happy, which is good. We have engines running happily. They all sound a tiny bit rattly, these engines, just the way they are. But I might say I'm happy with that. Do you think we should take it for a quick spin around the block?
Yeah, shall we record? I think it'd be good.
Right then, guys, let's see what we got. Wow, pickup's good. Pickup's very good. It does need a service, this car. It's not had a service in a long time. Hello.
It's a very Italian job feeling kind of car.
It's quick, it is nippy. This is running nice. Taking over really smooth now. That's good.
Shall I give him the Italian job FOV? Give it the full Italian.
That dries really nicely now. Got no smoke out the back. Got one little warning light on, so it'll be interesting to see what that is.
Give it a corner. It's a very nippy car.
So it very much sticks to the corners. It's got good tyres, good size tyres on it as well. That is driving really, really nicely.
Indeed it is.
I am rather chuffed with that. Where's reverse? There it is.
Back home again.
And what do is we'll kill the engine. Well, not kill the engine, let's not kill the engine. That'd be extreme.
Turn it off.
Turn it off and then see how it starts up. Okay. Touch in. Sweet as.
Nice.
Well chuffed. Right then, guys. Well, thanks ever so much for sticking with us this long. If you have, if you haven't, then but yeah, thanks for sticking with us. So that was the diagnostics or diagnosis, I should say, of a vanos solenoid needing to be replaced, and it seems to have fixed all the issues. We did have a slight panic. Did think there was a little bit of oil. But the vanos, where it goes into the engine, it is quite oily. So I think what's happened is where I've taken it out of the engine, there's been a little bit of oil spill, and that's just gone onto the exhaust and burnt off. But it was so small, it kind of burnt off, and now it's gone. So that's what I think it is. But I'm gonna, as I said, I'm gonna send it off for an MOT. That's its next thing. But I'm gonna give it a thorough clean underneath as well as outside and the inside. Well, the outside's been done, but I need to polish that really. But that will be after the MOT. And I think I'll clean up the inside a little bit before the MOT, or I might not. I don't know yet. But we'll get it in for an MOT. That's the next thing.
Sorry.
Get it in for an MOT. Cameraman needs shooting.
You haven't given me a gimbal.
Anyway, so yeah, next thing is the MOT, and we'll see how it goes on that. So thanks for joining us. I hope this has helped anybody who wants to fit a vanos solenoid. It is a pain in the proverbial. It seems to me that the Cooper S engine is obviously, because it's got the turbo, is much tighter in the engine bay. So the vanos and the non-turbo is at the front of the engine, where on the turbocharged engine is at the rear of the left, and it is tricky. But hopefully I've helped explain it a bit so you can understand how to do it, and it'll be easier for you if you're trying to do it. So yeah, we also did the compression tests. If anybody knows what that means, please leave us a note in the comments. As I say, I will contact my cousin, who knows a lot more about minis than I do, and see what he says as well. He may turn and go, do you know what, it's all within the parameters, it's fine. He may turn and say, yeah, that's fine for John Cooper Works, or he may say, yeah, something's not quite right there, you need to sort that out. We will see. But anyway, I will stop rambling. Thanks ever so much for watching. Please remember to
like and subscribe and hit the bell notifications.
Exactly that, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next one, whatever that will be, on our little mini. Take care.
Bye.
Hey, to whoever may need this.